We may have just witnessed the toughest conditions at a Disc Golf Pro Tour event. Kansas is known for being windy, but this time, Kansas might have taken it too far. For the first 3 rounds of the Dynamic Discs Open, not a single putt was a gimme. Discs were being taken out of centered chain by the wind. Good shots with stable discs were being tossed OB by the wind.
Well, then everyone loses their minds.
So how was Ricky Wysocki able to endure these brutal conditions and win by such a big margin? Ricky is known for throwing overstable discs. He's very comfortable releasing on an anhyzer and letting the stability bring the disc back. His naturally high reach back allows for that anhyzer release and is likely part of the reason why he prefers to throw overstable discs. His comfort level with overstable discs is essential for handling windy conditions like we saw in this tournament. During this 3rd round, Ricky battled the wind by throwing an overstable disc on every single tee shot. His most thrown discs were the Enforcer, Giant, and Felon. The shot that we're going to be focusing on from the 3rd round is the tee shot on hole 11. Throwing into a headwind, Ricky has to dial in the release angle with the right disc choice in order to get the straight flight with predictable fade that he's looking for. The tricky thing about this par 3 is the OB lining both sides of the fairway as well as the back and left part of the green. Ricky's disc choice for this hole is the Westside Discs Giant. He uses this beefy distance driver on both backhand and forehand shots, and the overstability of this disc is something that Ricky relies heavily upon when throwing in the wind. The first key for Ricky is getting the right release angle. Knowing that the danger to avoid is turning his disc over to the right, Ricky needs to release this shot on a hyzer. The hyzer release with an overstable disc is the safest play for this shot. In normal conditions, this isn't considered a difficult shot, but being even slightly off on your release angle can spell disaster. Watch as Thomas Gilbert releases his shot with a less stable disc with just a touch of hyzer angle. Almost immediately out of his hand, the headwind is turning his disc over to the right as it holds the line all the way out of bounds. The reason this happens is because headwinds make discs behave less stable. Let's say you throw a 60 mph shot into a 25 mph headwind. The combination of disc speed forwards and wind speed backwards has the same effect as if your disc was thrown at 85 mph into no wind. The faster a disc cuts through the air, the less stable it behaves. We all know that as your arm speed improves, you generally gravitate towards discs that are more stable. Thus, while throwing into a headwind, it's essential to choose a more stable disc, or be darn sure you put enough hyzer on your shot to keep it from turning over. Another key for throwing into a headwind is to keep the shot low, as wind speeds generally increase as height off the ground increases. This low, hard shot penetrates down the fairway, giving the wind minimal opportunity to interfere with it. Here, Brodie Smith throws an overstable disc on a hyzer, but opts for a higher line. It's tough to see, but the headwind does flip his disc up some, likely affecting his shot more than if he had taken a lower route. With these conditions, this higher shot is going to be less predictable, and with the wind causing his disc to act less stable, the result for Brodie is a circle 2 putt into a crosswind. Playing in the wind requires an immense amount of mental toughness, and Ricky's resilience led him to running away with his first ever Dynamic Discs Open title. Man, I can't wait for Worlds to be played on the very course Emporia Country Club. While you're waiting, you can check out this video of Chris Dickerson from last year's World Championship. Until next time, I'm probably not Paul Macbeth,